On today's show, we're going to create ourselves a nice little spicy and sweet sauce. It can also be used as a nice little glaze for the grill. It pairs well with fried seafood, pork, even chicken. It's a Scotch Bonnet sweet chili sauce. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Hey, welcome to Gourmet Fishing. I'm your host, David Murray. We got it all right here to get started. So, speaking of that, let's go ahead and get started on our sweet chili sauce right now. Let's go ahead and get started on our Scotch Bonnet sweet chili sauce. Hey, we've got our ingredients right here. Chili, hey, Scotch Bonnet, there you go right there. That's that bad little dude right there that'll light you up. It's also pretty much the same thing as a habanero. But we've got some Scotch Bonnets. We've got some nice little Fresno chilies right here. Hardly any heat to that at all, but it gives a little bit of good flavor. It also is going to aid to the coloring of our sauce. And then we've got some garlic right here. We're gonna grab this little fella. This little clove right here, you know, I'm gonna put him right there, and we're gonna put him in there also. We've got some sugar. We got a half a cup of sugar. We got some water. We got about five and a half ounces of water. We got about 3/4 of a teaspoon, or right at a teaspoon, maybe just under a teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of onion powder. You know, that's really about. Oh, we've got some vinegar. I'm using cane sugar vinegar. You can use white vinegar, doesn't matter, but we'll be using about a 1/4 cup of that plus 2 tablespoons. And then right here, this is what is going to thicken our sauce. We've got some half a tablespoon of potato starch. You can also use cornstarch, but we'll talk about the difference between the two here in a minute. And right here we got a tablespoon of water. And I tell you what, I think that's all of our ingredients. Simple, isn't it? Hey, not a lot to it. So let's go ahead, and I've got a pot right here on about medium. I'm gonna add my water, just like that. And I'm gonna come in here, we're gonna add our sugar. Whoop, just like that. What kind of noise am I gonna make? Okay, not too much. Now we're gonna come in, we're gonna add our salt and our onion powder, just like that. These little guys are gonna stay, we'll leave them right there. Hopefully we won't knock them over. That's what goes in at the end. But right now, we're going to bring our water up to a boil. And then we're going to quickly turn it down to a simmer. What we really want to do is just to get that sugar and that salt to kind of sort of dissolve into our water. So like I said, I'm gonna medium, just a tick or two under medium, and we're just gonna let that heat up and do what it's got to do. So, but yes, while that is going on, you know what? I'm gonna take that little guy right there, and I think we've got 4 Fresnos plus this poor little this poor little lonely guy. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and use him up and not let him be lonely. So I tell you what, we're gonna move that up here, and we're gonna begin chopping our chilies, just like so. Right, I tell you what, we're coming up to cutting our last one up, just like so. Just like that, making some clinking noise. Now I tell you what, I got a little food processor right over here, and that's gonna help us chop up our hard our hard ingredients, our peppers and our garlic. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna add these guys in here just like that. Oh yeah, voila, boom, just like so. Now this guy right here, he can light you up. I'm serious. This is one of those real hot peppers. Now, so what I'm gonna do, take this guy, got him in half, just like that, and now I'm gonna cut him one more time, and we're only gonna use about 1/4 of this pepper and just a few of the seeds and just a little bit of the veins, and that's where a lot of the heat comes from, is from the seeds and the veins. So I'm going to come over here and, yep, I'm going to just drop you right there. Now, remember, you've got some of that oil, or was it capsium or something like that you call it, on your fingers. Don't rub your eyes, and be careful when you go to the restroom if you have to do that. So just remember that. Or you can wear those the vinyl gloves that you see a lot of people wearing during food prep. But since this is just me, I'm not going to worry too much about wearing gloves. So again, I'm going to come in here and we're just going to give this garlic a nice rough cut like so. Add that in here. And I just remembered I forgot to add our vinegar to our liquid. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to actually add 1/4 cup of our vinegar to our pot, just like so. Wasn't too hard, was it? Of course not. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm also going to add a couple of tablespoons to our food processor and our peppers. That's going to kind of sort of help get everything moving in the food processor itself. I'm not sure why I'm taking this back to the sink, but anyway, now we get to make some noise by doing a little pulsing. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to see how, oh yeah, things are starting to heat up and everything appears to be dissolving as we would expect it to. So here we go. We can come in here like this. Now let's see, top on like so. Okay, we got all kind of little seeds hanging around, so I tell you what, real quick, just like so, let me grab a towel and voila, off we go. So now do a little chop and make a little noise. All right, I tell you what, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. I'm going to take a look. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. Let me get this guy out of the way. And I tell you what, it looks like we are just boiling, which is perfect. And I'm going to turn that down to a simmer. And I tell you what, excuse me, exactly. When you take the top off of your food processor, be careful, because some of those fumes are going to come up and might make you cough. But I tell you what, I think this is, yeah, I think that is going to be perfect for us. Consistency, let's see here what we got. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. That's exactly, that's good for me. Now if you want to take that down, if you want to puree it down a little more, feel free, no problem. So at this point, I think we're ready to begin transforming all of this into a sweet and spicy Scotch Bonnet chili sauce. Now we're going to come in, we're just going to add this in here just like so. Oh yeah, heck yeah. Let's see, get all that out of there. Heck yeah, come on, let's go. There it is. All right. Yes, sirree. Oh wow, yum yum. Heck yeah. Tell you, boy, you can smell it all, man. It is. It smells good, but you gotta be careful with it. You might, I don't know, you might tear up from those fumes. But what we're going to do now, we're going to bring this back up to a very mild simmer. We can let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Oh wow, boy, I tell you what, that is looking pretty daggone good. I'm going to take a little step back and try to get some of the smells away from that little rising steam right there. Is taking some of the potency with it. So be careful and don't get too far over your pot while it's cooking, and take a nice deep breath. You know, who knows what will happen to you then. You may want to use your overhead fan to also help get some of that out of your kitchen. But I tell you what, that is looking good. So I tell you, we're very, very close. I'm going to come in and I'm going to mix up my my potato starch and water. This is going to be our thickening agent. Now, what I think in early on in the show, when we were talking about the ingredients, I said cornstarch will work fine. It will work perfect. It'll thicken everything up. So, you know, the difference why use potato starch versus cornstarch. If you don't have potato starch, can't find it, use cornstarch. But I went ahead and I kind of sort of Googled it because I had seen the use of potato starches in other recipes, and I said, what the heck is the difference? So I kind of sort of got on the internet, Googled it, potato starch versus cornstarch, and what popped up is that the potato starch will give you a smoother and clearer sauce than the cornstarch. And another thing is you can't overcook the potato starch like you can cornstarch. So that's why we're waiting till the end to add our little slurry of potato starch and water. And I tell you what, I think, speaking of that, I think we are ready to add it. So we're going to come in like so. I don't know why I put that down. And we're just going to come in here and add this. I want to make sure I get all that out of there. Just drop it in just like so. And we will get this back up to a boil. And then after it kind of begins to boil, and then we're going to take it off the heat. And then we'll let that cool. And as it cools, it'll get thicker and thicker. And I tell you what, as you can see, it's kind of sort of thickening itself up right now. But usually when you bring something like this back up to the boil, that will be as thick as it gets until it cools down. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh yeah, I tell you what, that right there, I do believe is it. We are done with our Scotch Bonnet sweet chili sauce. Heck yes. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna take that off the heat, put it right here. Oh man, check that out. That is thickening up perfectly. And as I said, as it cools down, it will thicken up even more. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna come in. Cool. That little quarter of that Scotch Bonnet, wow, it will add some heat. So be careful. Maybe you go with an eighth of maybe your Scotch Bonnet or your habanero if you're using those, or heck, use a different maybe a Thai chili or bird's eye chili or something like that that's not as hot as a Scotch Bonnet or habanero. But you know, instead of using the see, I like spicy stuff. Again, that's going to be up to your palate, so keep that in mind. But maybe you start out with maybe an eighth of a pepper like that right here. You know, maybe just a little small piece right there at the bottom. I'm not sure. So anyway, I tell you what, that is looking, oh wow, perfect. Heck yeah. I tell you what, we're gonna come over here and grab this little glass bowl, and we're going to add our Scotch Bonnet sweet chili sauce to it. Oh man, check that out right there. Wow. Man, I cannot wait to get me some coconut shrimp. Oh man, dip that in. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Man, check that out. Look at that. Wow. Heck yeah. Man, yum, yum, yum. Wow. Awesome. Quick and simple. Definitely sweet. And definitely a little on the spicy side, but that's, hey, that's my palate. But I tell you what, right there, man, check that thing out. That is going to be delicious with some fried seafood, maybe even some pork on the grill or chicken on the grill. Get some of that kind of coated up, hit it with a little cherry and apple wood, and get a nice little smoky, sweet crust on the outside of a chicken. Heck yeah, man. But there you go, right there. There is our Scotch Bonnet sweet chili sauce. Oh man, I hope y'all give this a shot and try it out. For the recipe, check out the description down below. And I mentioned coconut shrimp. Check out that video right there. Make those, pair it with this. Unbelievable. Let me back here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. It all does help us out. And until next time, God bless, and we'll see y'all soon.